Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. French press, um, French dark roast, Starbucks. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Welcome everyone. It's your boy Jonathan here, and this is the Champion Zone. Okay, today we will be discussing entrepreneurship. Are you built for it? What is it? Let's find out. I, as of recently, I've taken notice that, you know, most of us millennials are running around talking about we're entrepreneurs. Currently, I myself, I am not an entrepreneur. I'm an aspiring entrepreneur. I've not started the journey of it yet. Not quite yet. I'm in the process, I'll say. But there are some of my peers who are knee deep in it, and from the outside looking in, I'm inspired because they're going hard, they're accomplishing things, they're knocking things out, they're going through the ups, the downs, and you know, it's inspiring. It's very inspiring. I'm going to say this: they're problem solvers. They are adding value to the market of those particular industries that they are choosing to be entrepreneurs in. And then I see people who are kind of faking the funk. I don't necessarily see them as entrepreneurs. They haven't taken the risk to get the high reward. You know, high risk, high reward. They kind of play it safe. There's nothing wrong with playing it safe. You want to be a company man? There's nothing wrong with that. I won't talk down on that. But what I'm starting to realize is my conflict of interest when it comes to being a company man is I have to ask someone for permission to take a vacation. I have to ask someone for permission to take a day off. I have to ask someone for permission in order to make more money. You know, whatever they say they want to pay me, that's what I'm going to make working for that particular corporation. Follow me. I am not talking down on the corporation. For some people, it is that's their niche in life, is to be a company worker, to work for a company. Heck, most entrepreneurs need people to work for them. So everybody cannot be an entrepreneur, which I understand, okay? In this particular society, anyways. I also look at the fact that, so I work with a bunch of guys who I want to say they're either baby boomers or Generation X. And, you know, back when I was 5, some of those guys were making 150 grand working at the company I work for now. The way they got paid was totally different from how we're hourly workers now. Back then, they weren't hourly workers. They got a commission. They had to go out and work the product themselves, and they made a commission off of what it was that they sold. Okay? Which, so I want to say it's at least 15 to 18 gentlemen who was working at that company prior to me being born, or at least within the first 5 years of my life. Okay? It's a union. We're in the union. So when I started working there 5 years ago, when I first came in, they were in negotiations for a new union contract. And if you know anything about a union, they negotiate your pay, what you'll be making, how you're going to make it. They'll be negotiating your benefits if the union pays your medical benefits. So they're going to negotiate those things. And they're going to also negotiate some other things for you as an employee working for this corporation. They're like the middleman. Some unions are valuable. Some unions, they aren't worth nothing. I don't even know why you're paying them. That's a conversation for another day, though. So with that being said, I watched this negotiation go down. It was my first time experiencing this. And some of the guys walked away happy about it because they're on their way out. They're about to retire. Some of the guys didn't. You had one guy, he's been there, he's on his 30th year. He was just coming up on his 30th year of working for this company. And he's beat his body up over the years. He's worked for 30 years doing this. It's a physical job, too. It's very physical. And, you know, back in the day, things wasn't as luxurious and beneficial to workers now as it is today. So he beat his body up. He had his knee replaced, and 2 years into the job when I first started, he had his other knee replaced. Okay, so he had no other choice but to retire because his body. I mean, I was out with the guy. The guy's hands are swollen. He can't even press the buttons on the little computers that we use to do our job. Like, physically, he could not do this job no more. So he's looking for this company to let him retire with his pension and his retirement money and not take a penalty. But they require the way it's set up, the way the company has it set up. They changed it. It used to be a certain way, 30 years and out, you can go. They took that away from those guys in that union, in the union contract prior. So, what they did keep, they did away with the pension in the new union contract that I witnessed. They did away with the pension. So the pension that those gentlemen got, we as the new employees, we were not going to get that pension. They got grandfathered in, and they let them keep that to cash out. The new employees and anybody who started after like 1998 or something like that, or I want to say 2000, it was like 2000, maybe 2010. I don't have the numbers correct, but it was something like that. If you started after that particular time, you were not grandfathered into the pension plan. Okay, so this guy's fighting with the company. He wants to retire. You know, physically, he cannot do this job no more. He's 50 years old, in his early 50s. I don't think he was 60. I think he was early 50s. And his body's beat up. He can't work no more. He can't do this anymore. You know, I don't know if he's made enough money or was wise enough with his money to be able to live the rest of his days out. You know what I mean? You make enough money until 62, and then 62, you're supposed to live off of that money and just die. You know, it's pretty rough. The system is pretty rough in my opinion. But I'm saying all this to say, I am at the point in my life where I am in my prime for health, working, you know, I'm blessed in that particular area right now. You know, and God, Lord willing, everything continues to go well. So I look at it, you know, the conflict of interest for me is all of those things of having to request to another person, male or female, to request to another person, hey, I would like to take a vacation. I would like to take this day off. I would like to do this, that, and the third, and I have to get their permission, okay? Not only that, I have to depend on them for my financial future, i.e. looking at this gentleman going through what he's going through for his retirement, for the money he's worked for the money he's saved up, okay? So now I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, I want to get into investing, but not only that, I want to go make my own money. I don't want a middleman in between me and my financial future, my freedom. Freedom. Financial freedom. It's not just financial freedom, it's freedom all across the board to live life on your terms, in my opinion. That's a part of being an entrepreneur. You know, the definition of an entrepreneur is a person who organizes and operates a business or businesses taking on greater than normal financial risks in order to do so. That's the definition, or Webster's definition, of an entrepreneur. So high risk, high reward. No risk, no reward. You get what you get, if you understand what I'm saying. With all of that being said, entrepreneur falls under a particular umbrella that I call success, okay? Which is not something we accomplish, it is something we attract. And it is a beautiful, beautiful journey. And on this journey to success, you know, for me, what defines a big part, and I want to say a vast majority of success for me, is to have a healthy body, to have a healthy mind, to have a healthy spirit, to have a healthy emotions, to have a healthy family, and to have healthy relationships. One of my favorite motivational speaker, Jim Rohn, I want to say he's a baby boomer when it comes to generations. But Jim Rohn, he has a saying, and I quote, "You can have more because you can become more." And the other side of that coin reads that unless you change how you are, you're going to always have what you got. In my experience, I've found that income does not far exceed self-development. Unquote. So I hope you understood what I was saying. But within that is, income does not far exceed self-development. Okay, so you developing yourself. So I could say this. I could sit here and quote affirmations all day from these motivational speakers. I could sit here and quote lines from books that I've read, self-development books I've read. I could sit here and quote lines from encouraging self-development videos that I've watched on YouTube, from some of my favorite YouTubers as well. I can do that all day. I can attain all this knowledge. But if I am not applying the wisdom and knowledge that I'm attaining from these people, I'm delusional. You know what I mean? I'm delusional. I'm living a life of delusion. I'm a wannabe entrepreneur. I'm a wannabe motivational speaker. You know what I mean? It's about the application of what you learn, the journey of success, what you're becoming while trying to reach this goal of success that you set for yourself. Reaching your full potential, becoming who it is you were supposed to become. And for me, that is the pinnacle of success for me, reaching my fullest potential. A tree grows if you let it, and even if you don't let it. Like, you ever see a tree grow near a gate? It'll destroy the gate. Or a tree growing on the sidewalk, it'll destroy that sidewalk before it is stunted in its growth. It's going to reach its full potential. You don't have to tell it. You know what I mean? Same thing with animals. Certain animals, unless born with birth defects, and that rarely slows them down, but unless born with birth defects, an animal is going to live up to its full potential. A lion is going to live to its full potential. A deer is going to live to its full potential. Horses as well, if you get what I'm saying. Dolphins, killer whales, just to use the examples. Us as humans, it's a choice for us. I could be lazy, or I can be a high functioning human being. It's kind of deep because the environment I grew up in, which wasn't the best environment, inner city and all those things. I don't make an excuse, and I don't make an excuse for failure coming from where you come from. It's all a choice. But what I will say is, within that environment, a lot of people do not figure out who they are until they're in their 30s and 40s. You know what I mean? Or what they want until they're in their 30s and 40s. I'm not saying all people are like that, because you have a lot of people who went for theirs coming right out of high school on into college and just going to get it. But with that being said, I make no excuse. It's just an observation, and a perspective from my experience of growing up in what you want to call the hood or the ghetto or the inner city. It's what you make it. Life is what you make it ultimately. With that being said, guys, I really want to thank you guys for tuning into this video. If you've enjoyed this convo, if you walked away with any type of knowledge, any type of encouragement, please give the video a like, and please subscribe to my channel. You subscribing is going to help get the video out there. The likes is going to help to get the video out there. And I want to create more stuff like this. You know what I mean? It took a lot of courage for me to even put something like this out there. And I want to move forward, overcoming fear. Starting a YouTube channel has been one of the things I've wanted to do since 2017. It's 2021. I've been putting it off for whatever reason. Fear, laziness, lack of encouragement or enthusiasm, if that's the right word. It's been a lot of things, but we're here now. And like I said, if any of this encourages you, please like, subscribe, share. And as always, guys, be committed, be disciplined, and be courageous. This is the Champion Zone, and I'm out. Peace. Thanks.